Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I do dry jerk it. So now that everyone knows that, we can get started because we are live. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, everyone's having a great week as usual. We're back with another podcast. Everyone seems to like the gaming podcast, and we are kind of gamers. So I had to bring in a goat. This guy started his own company. He has his own esports team. He's a competitive gamer. My personal friend, the only guy that beats me at locals. But last time, I beat him. Wrong button. My bad. All right, now we go. My buddy, Joseph Filipino. What a homie. How's it going, Joseph? How's your day going, man?
Oh, pretty good today.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on here, man. I'm really happy. I've been trying to get a competitive gamer on here for a while, and it's been kind of hard because my friend that's a competitive gamer just kind of has things going on right now, and he couldn't do it. But whenever I was like, dude, you know who else I got? Got Joseph Filipino, and he definitely would be down to jump on this podcast and talk about like the competitive gaming aspect. So before we start, though, let me check in on the boys. RC, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. Just same old shit. Life, work, and school.
That's the way it works. Ed, let me guess, you're tired?
Tired, bitch. Nah, I'm really good. Oh yeah, but that's a given. I'm not gonna try not to use that anymore. Nah, I'm good. Just got back from our hometown. Just saw my buddy for his birthday. Got to hang out with him. Saw his family.
And saw me. Yeah, we hung out. We went to a bar.
I saw Steve. Yes,
Yeah,
I got my hand, and now I'm here, getting ready to do this and then go to work tomorrow.
Definitely. All right. And like always, I'm doing pretty good.
You?
I'm a little tired, so unlike you guys, I have a way to get around that. I'm really hung.
You're not.
I'm really hungover. Like so, I'm gonna open my drinks. I'm like supremely hungover right now, so it's gonna really wake me up. All right, cheers, mate. Sorry.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers. Hey man, if y'all get a chance, these are freaking fire. They're so good.
White Claw. I mean, I'll drink them if they're there, but
Nah,
Dude, they give me such bad heartburn, bro.
But the lemonade
fucking heartburn.
tastes amazing.
that one was
Seltzers,
lemonade.
man.
All right.
So good. Yeah.
First off, Ed, every time you say you guys gotta try this, how about you give the product name because people are listening, they're not just watching.
Oh yeah. Sorry. It is the White Claw Lemonade Refresher.
Nice.
Sponsored?
That's
Anybody?
what-
Yeah,
that's
ooh, yeah, sponsor.
Bro, I'm
yeah.
down these every podcast. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll shotgun every single podcast. So a White Claw refresher, even though I've never had one, but they look
I
good.
was probably was shotgunning Red Bulls earlier.
Oh yeah, we did do shotguns of Red Bulls. So-
They're fucking ridiculous.
Sometimes, like at the end of the bar night, you kind of had a couple beers, and you got to go to the after party, and you got to turn up there too. So the only way to do it is the bar's closing. It's time to shotgun a Red Bull, and you get out of there. That's how.
We were closing. We were just leaving.
Yeah, well, we don't know. We went to a new bar in CC called Little
Hey.
Woodrow's. It was
That
nice.
place is sick.
It was nice. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I wasn't planning on going, and then I ended up spending like $75 at the end of the
Did
night.
y'all get to see the turtle races? Or they didn't have them?
Wait, is that the place with the turtle races?
That's the place with the turtle races. I mean, they do it up here. I don't know. Same name, Little Woodrow's. I don't know if they do that down there or not. I know
thought
they do
it
them up here.
sounded familiar.
Yeah, I've taken you there, Squid. Yeah.
No, you have not. You've talked about it, but you've never taken me.
You're right. I took Dotson there. That's my bad.
Alright.
Yeah, it's hurting.
This was the second day it opened. It literally opened 2 days ago. Or 3 now, I guess.
Yeah,
It opened Friday.
it was good. It was really, the food was pretty good. The staff just seemed a little untrained, but you can't really put that up to
The
them.
food is fire, though.
Yeah, the beers they had $3 like Millers and
Happy
$3.
hour was-
They normally have really good specials. Their food's decent. Like you said, the staff is probably just because it's a brand new joint.
Yeah,
Dude, happy hour was $3 drafts, bro.
yeah. So it was
How long
good.
is How long is happy hour?
What was it, like 3 to 7, I think?
Yeah, 3 to 7. Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad. That's good.
And it's 21 up, so you don't have to deal with
Where is it at?
It's literally off of Airline in front of Sunrise. So you
No
take
shit.
You exit
Okay.
Airline, take the U-turn, and it's right there.
Okay.
For those that don't know, Sunrise Mall is a mall that we have here in Corpus Christi, and it's shut down. It's shut down.
Next to Planet. Right next to
Yeah,
Planet.
and you might know it as from the popular movie Selena, where they shot a couple scenes in that mall.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
they did.
Place.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
Before she gets the pow-pow.
Corpus.
Shut the fuck up, Ed. So I'm glad to be back because now, like, where the fuck is my? Sorry, I'm swearing too much. That energy and then the beer. So most most people think that competitive gaming. What do you guys think competitive gaming? Like, what game do you specifically think of competitive gaming?
Tekken, that's it.
Joseph's gonna say Tekken, but RC Ed, what do you got?
COD and
I
Valorant.
think, not even. I think COD. I think Street Fighter. I think, League of Legends.
That's a good one.
Like esports.
Well, how about this? Instead of defining games, just define the genre because I mean you can use a game as an example, but
Fighting
genre.
and RTS.
Yeah.
FPS, fighting, RTS.
Shooters. We
Yeah.
would like straight up as
Yeah.
well because
we
of
need a
UNC.
tier list.
Because because of UNC, I think fighters. But if you were to ask me like before, just shooters.
Well,
But now I think fighters good.
before I got into fighting games, like I was always playing shooters first. I guess but I got an Xbox first. I don't know how
Okay.
I ended up getting it, but I started playing Call of Duty, and then I started playing like Gears of War.
Halo at all.
I did play Halo, but it was only mainly hanging out with homies.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
homie sesh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got into Halo like that, but whenever we did play online together, like we did this thing where we walk in a circle together, and you got the person in like pretty much like the tank, doing it almost like the Holy Trinity for MMOs. We would just run in circles, man, just killing teams and stuff like that. But that's just
awesome.
Halo, Halo was just
Yeah, yeah.
a fun game for me, and I didn't take competitive or anything like that. But for me, it was just really shooters at first, and then by the time I was like, shit, man, I was like 23 or 24 when Tekken 7 came out, I think.
2015, I think in Japan, and 2017 in America.
Yeah, because I still have my Tekken CD when I had my PS4.
Like
back in
the
day.
classic.
Yeah, I have that's in my PS4 right now. So now it brings it back. So I was gonna session that into the genres of competitive gaming, and most people think Call of Duty. That's when they think of competitive gaming, it's Call of Duty. That's the most
Well, it is
popular
the
one.
biggest
Yeah.
one in the.
But
I think
the
League.
entire
yeah, but when RC said League it has the most.
I
Yeah,
watch League. I watch League and Street Fighter. I will
Yeah.
literally sit down and watch guys in esports
Yeah,
play
but
that shit. It's
is
so
that-
fucking cool.
Is that because of your wife? Was that why you think of League? Because she plays it.
League, yes, now, but prior to meeting my wife, it was Street Fighter because it would always be on the TV. Because I worked, Basic Cable, they'd show the little the side ESPN, and it would always have drag racing and
Yeah.
esports and shit, and it was always Street Fighter. It was always them going at it. So I guess that's why I think I relativize it to Street Fighter.
So yeah, and that's something that I always think about. Like everyone, I'm like when I say I'm a competitive gamer, they think COD. That's always happened. They always say, "Oh, COD."
Stigma.
Yeah, COD, and then I'm like, no, and then it goes to the next one. It's sports. It's probably the next biggest one. Madden, NBA, NCAA. I don't even know if that's still relevant.
I can't
yeah.
get into those. I don't see the competitive aspect. I feel like those kinds of games are like just that's a betting game between two people.
Oh, fucking
we
FIFA.
technically
People
do
dying
different
over
games.
FIFA matches. Are you kidding me?
FIFA's big,
Jesus.
yeah. So and then comes fighters, but I think fighters is more rooted into the competitive scene because I think we didn't have really big shooters prior to Nintendo 64. The only real shooter I remember was 007.
Golden.
Yeah, GoldenEye. That's when I. Yeah. That's when I really think competitive shooting became even a thing. I know there's other games before that I'm not aware, but before that, Mortal Kombat was on the Super Nintendo. I believe Street Fighter was on the Super Nintendo.
I think Mortal Kombat was almost on every system.
Yeah, it was on Sega
Just about, yeah.
and it was on Super Nintendo, but Super Nintendo didn't have the gore because Super Nintendo was a family
We
entertainment.
went over that.
Yeah.
That's what you were talking about that last time, right?
Yeah.
How they lost a lot of people because of that.
Yeah,
Must went out of business or whatever.
yeah. Donkey Kong saved it, but
Old MK history.
yeah. So there was a lot that competitive gaming stemmed from it. I think it's rooted in fighters. Because that's what I've been competing in the last 3 years. But prior to that, I'd be across the board. But fighters were the number ones, and it's still now what I'm doing now. I'm still competing in fighters, but it's always interesting that's the first thing people go to is Call of Duty, and I'm like, nope, Tekken, and there's always two reactions for Tekken. They go Tekken? Oh, I used to play that when I was a kid. Or what the fuck is Tekken?
Yeah.
So to start this podcast, I wanted to kind of go over some lingo for the fighting game community, and just because I know RC and Ed, so RC and Ed, you guys will tell me what you think it means, Joseph, and you give me your interpretation. I'll read the definition, and so the first one is a pretty easy one. It's a local. Ed,
So
Who's going first?
oh Ed, because I said your
it
name.
doesn't matter. Oh yeah, he said your name. I don't get to.
Okay.
So-
Okay. A local would, in my thoughts, is basically someone who lives in the area who's like always at all of the events. He's a local.
That's a good
He's
one.
known.
RC,
No.
what do you think?
When I think local, I think more of like, I guess like union, biker, and club style shit, right? So a local means someone who's a part of that specific area or organization's area. That's what I think.
That's pretty close, but I think your definition is falling closer to like a singular person. Joseph, what's a local?
Well, okay, for me, for me,
For you.
a local is more of a social gathering for a specific fighting game you are getting into or wanting to learn. That is my definition.
It's not always fighting games. It could be other games as well.
Yeah, it could be other games, but
Yeah,
local is just
yeah.
It's for
So
people like that.
yeah, so my local is in Corpus Christi. Me and Joseph have a local out there that we go and they have tournaments every Saturday, and it's not like diehard money making tournaments. It's like you and a bunch of friends go out and play, and sometimes there's money, sometimes there's not. But really, it's just about getting better and just being part of the community.
See, I thought kind of the same thing, but you didn't give me a context in which the word local, so I just went with like a person.
Oh, so the context is competitive gaming.
Well, no, I know that, but like when you say local, do you mean like, oh, you're at a thing and a local shows up, or just what is a local? You
Yeah.
I
I
thought
get
of,
that.
like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
started thinking of like a local that shows up at like a competition. It's like, oh, he's someone who's always there.
oh,
He's
I
not
see
a
what
local
you're
'cause
getting.
He's always at a thing.
Well, like
Yeah.
I think back to the skate park, right? We were locals
Exactly.
because we lived there. We were there every fucking day.
Yeah.
You could tell the people who didn't belong there, who weren't from
Yeah.
our town or weren't from our area, because we were literally there every day. We were local.
Yeah, that's
That's what I think.
locals. Yeah, but I'm thinking like
Yeah.
a local. Yeah, local.
Yeah,
And then
that's what the
we
abbreviation
yeah.
is.
All right, this one's really tricky, and it doesn't have any context toward it. It's double Luigi. This is a very specific to Tekken. It's actually not specific to Tekken, but it's very prominent in Tekken. Yeah, double
Yes.
Luigi.
I'm guessing
Go ahead.
that's when you.
It's not Mario, so just
No,
say
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but to me, a double Luigi would be that you beat them twice in a row without taking any damage.
Okay, that's close.
Okay.
That's close. RC.
I was gonna say it's landing
anything.
like a particular combo twice in a row, back to back, without having an interruption or damage. That's what I was gonna say.
That's a good one. If I had no context, I would think the same thing. All right, Joseph, what's a double Luigi?
a double Luigi is
The giggle.
like if me and Steve were gonna play. A double Luigi is I get a win, he gets a win, and then on the second round there's another 2 and 2. So we both got 2 and 2 because it's the first one of 3.
Okay.
So a double
basically-
Luigi is Steve got 2, I got 2, and now we have to play to get the win.
Yeah. It's
And
the
it-
last.
and-
Yeah.
Because I could have I could have won 2 games, he could have won 2 games.
Yeah.
Now this is our last game, and we got 2 wins on the last game each
So
Now we
rounds. Yeah, rounds.
rounds.
Yeah.
So we have that chance to see who's gonna win, and that's considered in that intense moment a double Luigi.
So yeah.
Okay.
So it's a very common term. It comes from a word called Dobrorichi. I'm trying to say it. Dobrorichi.
We need
It-
Google Assistant.
Yeah. Dobrorichi. Yeah. 2 players reach 2-2 scoreline in the final game. So it's very tense, and it's one of those things like everyone shuts down, they listen, they're watching. Everyone's like, every move you do, you land, every block.
Critical.
Yeah,
Everything's critical.
You can't like normally if you're down around or if you're up around, you can do crazy shit because you're like, oh, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I still have another round. But when it's
you buffer.
so it's definitely something that it's definitely a critical moment. It's a very popular term. All right, I got a couple more. No round brown. This one's kind of
It
easy
says
to
it
guess.
so.
Yeah.
It says it so.
No round brown.
Yeah, no round brown.
I'm gonna go with my other answer for the previous one, where you beat him without taking damage.
Okay, that's close.
Just because brown, I think of drinking when I think brown. So I don't know. Did you shit yourself or something, my guy?
After you went
I'm
around, you
thinking
take a
a
shit.
blowout. Yeah, I'm thinking a blowout. Like you stacked all three. You know, it's first to three typically, right? So you won all three and just smoked them.
Yeah. Joseph?
blowout,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty close. That's actually what it is. Joseph, what would you define it? And who was very prominent about saying it?
Pork chop.
Yeah, pot chop.
Poke chop.
Poke chop. Yeah. Yeah, poke chop. So it's essentially you win all 3 rounds. So in one match you win all 3 rounds. It's called a no round brown. It's very Poke Chop is probably one of the funniest players out because he's known for like yelling, getting hyped, getting the crowd involved. Like he'll come with like 10 of his friends and they're surrounding. He'll get up and
There's a whole posse.
Yeah, he can.
yeah.
and just fucking
They'll pat him down like if he's sweating. Like it's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got a couple more.
my God.
Okay.
Alright.
This is one is I don't know. I know Joseph will probably get this, of course, but Ukazumi.
One more time.
Ukazumi. Also known as Oki.
Actually, you go first in this one because I need to think.
That's I'm trying to think because there's no like that one's not.
It gives no clues.
Yeah, there's no clues, no context. It's
I'm
literally a word.
I'm
It's
trying to think
like
if I've ever heard either of y'all say that.
yeah, I watched enough of your streams. I don't think I've ever heard you say
Okay,
that.
here's an example. If you've ever heard, have you heard of the word before?
No.
Okazemi or Oki? Okay, here is an example. I'm ready. I knock you down. What is the Oki?
That's a good
That's the
context,
hint.
yeah.
That's a good hint. You get knocked down. What's the Oki?
Oh, so it's after you get knocked down.
It's a potential of getting knocked down. There's more.
Would it be when you do a slip on a combo? When you drop a combo?
No.
Well, it can be, but normally, it's really.
It's very specific.
Yeah,
It's like-
I'm out. I have no
Yeah,
idea. You're gonna have to. You're
All
gonna have to tell us.
right.
I'm just going with knocking someone down and dropping a combo that could have gotten you the win.
It's all right. I mean, I don't expect y'all to know this. Like, that's why I'm asking you guys.
I have
Yeah.
no clue.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay, so an Okazemi is basically the next mix-up after they recover from getting knocked down. Or, I think that's actually...
Yeah, that's a good definition. The actual
Okay.
term is used when you're trying to figure out what to do when your opponent is getting up from the floor. Yeah, and it's very critical because like some players are that when you're on the ground, you have a couple things you can do in Tekken, and a lot of times they get beat out by other moves. So it's really like a mind game, and really Tekken is like a paper rock scissors match.
Yeah, strategic.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
All right.
2D Fighters is a perfect example of an Oki, because like think about how when they do a cross-up when they jump over, and then they mess up their whole neutral game of defending. That's basically what the Okazemi is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm known
Makes
for
sense.
a special Okazumi. It's called a jump over. It's called a jump over. No, that's I won't say who that is, but yeah, I have a special trap. It's some jump over tick I've been working on, and I'm the only one that does it. I've never seen anybody do it with Eddie, of course. That's my main. All right. Last one. Frame trap.
Frame trap?
Yeah.
Isn't that like consider like what Zan like what Zan would do with Luigi, where you catch them in a frame so you can just like lock them in place and keep hitting them? Like
That-
how he, neutrals you with, or not neutrals, but
Yeah.
hits you with a Luigi.
That's not necessarily a frame trap. That kind of is. Yeah, that's pretty close to what it is.
Or like Smash.
Yeah, for Smash. Yeah.
How you knock you on the floor and he locks you in place for another hit, so then he can.
I forgot what it's called. Like it's
That's something different.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think of frame trap because Tekken doesn't have like Smash. You have the ending of the world, right? You're working from a platform. If you go on each side, you'll die. You lose. That's it. Game over. Tekken has barriers for the walls. You can't move unless there's a destructible that brings you into another area. So I would imagine a frame trap is when you're pushing an opponent so far to that corner, and you just keep knocking him to where he can't move out of that frame or out of that area.
No. Ed was closer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay, so a frame trap is like putting gaps between you and your opponent. So let's say you're pressing buttons, right? You could be pressing buttons. What I'm doing is I'm gonna do a certain move that is faster than that frame while you're pushing the button. So I'm interrupting your frame so I can pressure you.
Yeah.
And I can so it opens you either opens or I can condition you to where you're gonna eat it. Like
Yeah.
It's almost like a parry, but not necessarily a parry.
yeah, I mean, yes and no, because like as soon as you press a button, I could press a button that stops, that interrupts your frame, and I'm trapping you in my frame against you.
Got it.
It's sort of something like that, but a frame trap is just I'm putting gaps in between, like your inputs, you know, or I'm conditioning you to a certain degree.
Yeah.
That's pretty spot on.
Forcing them into a specific style or a certain combo or something. I got you.
Yeah, like my character is notorious for frame traps. And at a certain level that I play, it doesn't work all the time, but it's good to mix it up because
Yeah.
it's just a mind game.
That's pretty spot on. Frame trap is when you do two moves, one after the other, but there's a quick time gap between them. If your opponent tries to attack you during the time gap, they will be hit. This is considered a frame trap. Yeah, and with my character, if I hit you with the jab and it hits you, I'm at plus 15. Let me make sure I got the math right. Anyways, it's 5. I'm plus 5, I believe, on the jab, plus 5. So my next move is going to be an elbow. It's 15 frames, so that's 10 frames free that I got. So if they do any move that's 10 frames or less or more, they get launched and I get a full combo. So I always do that because it's a really safe reward for me. It's free, whether they take it or not. They're gonna get it, it's hard to play players that do frame traps a lot because if you don't know it, you're going to eat it for a good while until you figure out, I can't press. Yeah.
So I've listened and watched Steve and Joseph play so many times, and I'm always fucking baffled by just the whole frame talk on the littlest minuscule shit y'all can do to beat that person. It always baffles me, dude.
Yeah.
I won't
See,
ever get
like
it.
this is how I look at Tekken. So you got moves that are 10 frames, 11, 10 through 15 on startup. Now you got to look at things like, okay, if I'm gonna be plus, what is the next frame that's gonna guarantee me my pressure? You know, you got to look at frames like that because, like, let's say you get hit by a move and let's say Steve does like a 1-4, you know, let's say, or a 2-4 like Jin, you know, as a punish. Like, let's say the first hit hits you and it puts you like -5. You can't do shit. You can either take it or you can trade with the jab because your jab, like depending on what the startup frame is, jab is a 10 frame startup. So you can have certain frames. If you get around to getting good with numbers, frames is to where like you gotta add and subtract because it's based on your moves.
Yeah.
Now, is this like when you say frames? Is this like the timing of animation between whatever the movement is? Okay, that makes more sense to me. You're saying frame, and I'm thinking like I play Destiny a lot, and in competitive Destiny with like the PvP version of Destiny, certain things like transitioning from a certain weapon or your jump, your super, whatever you're going to use, there's an animation time that it takes for that to activate or register. So you're like using the same. Yeah,
it's like a tick. Same thing like when you play MMOs, like ticks or.
Perfect.
You know.
Okay, that makes so much more sense to me now. Cool.
Yeah. It's definitely something that it's taken me a. So when I first got into Tekken, I didn't know frames, and to learn frames, it's not too hard. But a lot of players, so a lot of the moves that look the same, and you could be like, I can punish that with 13 frames punish, but sometimes they don't. There's two characters there's two characters that have the same move that are identical, and one is safe and one is launch, and it's always hard to figure out which, because they look exactly the same. Bob's back three and Kazuya's like weird soccer kick. Yeah, those are, but one's safe, one's not safe. But yeah, it takes a lot. So that concludes the the FGC lingo, but mostly specific for Tekken. And that's because it's definitely something like you learn as you play, because people will throw out terms all the time. Like when I found out about double Luigi, I was like, what does that mean? And that's kind of how being part of a local is that's where you learn that shit. You don't want to go to your major and then be like, it's double Luigi, and you ask like, what does that mean? Don't talk to me, nerd.
This nerd doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. Which here?
Even in this competition.
Yeah.
Like, why are you here, bro? Why are you talking to me?
Then Steve goes home and writes in his journal.
Bitch,
Diary.
it's a diary, guy.
Diary, bro. Get it right.
It's a diary.
My bad. I thought he didn't want people to know it was a diary. That's why it's a journal.
No, it's a diary. Journals are for intellects. Diaries for feelings. All right, well, let's go into it. I just want to start off. First off, you have a gaming company, like an esports team.
I do.
Well, let's first off, before we get deep into it, like, how did you even start that? Like, where did that stem from?
Okay, so back in 2018, I think it was 2018. I ended up posting on Facebook, like, hey, do I got any friends on here that play Tekken? Because I was really starting to get back into Tekken. Not that I ever competed before or anything, but I just got into it again because I used to play that game as a little kid. So anyway, one of my buddies hits me up and we start playing Tekken. After that, ended up playing with another guy that was his buddy, and we played for like a year straight before No Way even became a thing, because it got to a point where we started playing games together. We're like, you know what, fuck it, let's make a clan, let's do a clan, and okay, so it started off like that.
Yeah.
So back in 2020, or wait, when did COVID start? Like at the end of
March 2020.
March 2020. Okay, so 3 months after COVID started, that's whenever we got into making it like a business. So, but COVID started, so we haven't really done shit or anything like that, other than get like sponsors and little things here and there. But as of right now, since COVID really started and everything, we haven't done much other than I forgot who I did it to. Somebody I gotta pay for like their tournament or whatever like that. That's what we kind of started doing, just paying for their locals, because locals were coming back, and that was probably at the end of 2021, somewhat at the beginning of 2022. So, but yeah, it started like that, like three homies got together and then started playing a lot and decided to say, hey, let's make a thing together, and we did, and so as of right now, just kind of starting off the paying just for locals, giving at least anybody that does apply and does potentially have a good record of competing in tournaments and stuff like that, getting top placements,
Initiative,
yeah, and then even if they're a good streamer as well, like we just try to help people really get the feel of what it's like to be a sponsor, because there's been people, man, that try to say, I want like $500 a month. I want you to pay for my shit, like to go out here and that. I'm like, motherfucker, I don't know who you talking to, man, but it don't work like that.
yeah.
But everyone gets a chance to earn it. Like there's the people on my team right now, like, some of them have been waiting patient. So, but slowly getting some stuff out there, really. But that's how it really all started,
And by the way, the team sport is No Way. You said it earlier, but you didn't introduce it.
Oh,
yeah, No Way.
Esports.
Yeah, No Way Esports is
No
the.
Way Esports.
Yeah,
That's fucking cool,
yeah,
man.
Congrats, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Literally.
yeah.
I mean, it sucks that it's been a while, but we're
COVID.
just paying for locals for right now.
Hey, but you're
great.
continuing. You didn't let it die during COVID. That's the biggest thing, man.
Yeah.
How
And
easy
plus-
it would have been for it to just die.
Yeah,
Right.
and plus with the new job that I got, I'm able to, put some money in there and do a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's always, I think it's so cool, because one of the things that a lot of players like the FGC is they want the sponsorship. They want, because the way it works is you get to put your sponsor on your tag. So it'll
Yeah.
say like your sponsor name and then your game title. And it's like you're part of a community. There's possibility depending on what sponsors you get. Like I'm sure if you're part of Red Bull Gaming, get a lot of money. But if you're local, you get a jersey. They pay for your locals, and hell, sometimes they do like if you have like a local, like if you have an esports that's in your area, that's like only in your area, they pay for travel, lodging, and things like that. So it does. It's definitely a competitive gamers like they definitely want that. Because it's hard to be in the FGC and make good money, like a living off of just tournaments. Like only a
I'm
few
sure some of
players.
I'm sure these professional gamers, like, yeah, some of them are full time, but I'm sure some of them got some part time work.
Yeah.
You know,
You have
so
to.
like even if you're just starting, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you're starting to get somewhere.
Well-
Like let's say like Steve's stuff, it's gonna hit one day, but right now, he has to work a part time job
Well,
in
yeah.
order
Yeah.
to continue his activities as
Yeah, yeah.
of some sort.
And as you get picked up by some kind of like major team, honestly, I'm pretty sure half of the people have like a side hustle.
Well, I hate to say it, and I'm not gonna call it, but Joseph knows who it is. I'm not gonna say his name, but one of the best players in the world in Tekken, in the world, like the best player. Fuck it, his name Arslan Ash, the best player in Tekken right now, hands down. He wins every tournament. He's the best player. I think like last year he posted on Twitter, "I just bought a car." At this point, he's won. He's won Japan Evo, which is the biggest fighting tournament in Japan. And then he won Evo America, which is the biggest fighting tournament in America. He won both of them. He beat the best player, and he's come down and he's won first. And when I say win, he doesn't. He wins every match. He doesn't go to losers and fight out of it. He's winning He's beating the best players all over the world.
The top period.
Yeah. And he just bought a car. I want to say it was last year. He posted on Twitter. Sorry, Arslan Ash, if you're watching. I don't know if you will listen to our
That
podcast.
doesn't mean that he didn't have the money or anything. He could have, but he was just waiting.
Dude, you would think that you win the
don't know
best.
that.
Yeah, the
Not
biggest
like that.
tournament. Like you would be able to buy like you think you walk away with like Happy Gilmore money. You don't. You don't get so the sponsors really come in handy on things like that because they really will pay for you and like dude. So I don't know if I told you this, Joseph. When I went to Texas Showdown and I was in the hotel room and I was playing this guy and he was really good Yoshi. I was like, yeah, this guy's good. He's good. And then he puts his jersey on. It was fucking Jumanji. Jumanji's probably one of the best Yoshi players in NA. And like just talking to him, the way he does it, he's like, all right, man, like I gotta go. It's like 7:00. He's like, all right, I gotta go lay down. My sponsors want me to go to sleep right now. I can't stay up late. I'm sorry, guys.
Fucking job.
Yeah, he literally treats it like a job, and then even whenever he's like coaching me during the time, like he knows what he's talking about. He's a really good player, but like his sponsors, like he doesn't. He's all about them, and that's something that like a lot of people don't think. They think they could just come out
That's
and
his fucking money. Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
it's insane that it's like that. Good.
Yeah, because I would say like I don't know it for the esports style, but I will say back in the day, me and RC actually tried to get sponsors and shit for skating. Like we had
That's
talked
hard.
to people.
That's
We
hard.
was a fucking bitch.
There was one in the valley that almost sponsored us. The only reason they didn't is because we were 2.5 hours
We
away.
weren't in their area, and it really sucked.
We went to contests. We competed. We did all kinds of shit, and we tried. As I started progressing, I tried even harder than him. But
Yeah.
I can only imagine how hard it is for esports compared to that. Because like,
Plus, everybody's fucking gaming.
Oh, I
Everybody's
put
gaming
fucking
now.
Yeah.
blood, sweat, and tears into the concrete for that shit, and I can only
Nothing.
imagine.
It definitely is mentally straining to be like a competitive gamer. Like,
Even streaming.
yeah. Well, it's
Being a
streaming.
streamer,
Yeah.
nowadays,
I don't
fucking
stream,
anyone
man.
with a camera.
Yeah.
I tried, and I fucking haven't done as much as I want to.
It's hard because and I forgot who said this. They said, if you use gaming as an outlet to deal with your emotional shit, and you think that's gonna translate into streaming, it doesn't. That's your job now, and now you can't use it to like lean on for your like emotional shit, and that's something that you have to differentiate between that.
You
You
always
gotta
say
train
that.
yourself to do it off camera, and then just do your thing on camera.
No, it took me a while to get comfortable. Like when you watch my first streams, I was all timid, and now I'm like, welcome, fuckers. No, I don't cuss during streams anymore. Oh, I do say that.
Unless he's playing like freaking what is it, Cuphead.
Oh
he's
yeah,
tossed.
yeah. Oh yeah. When I'm tossed, dude, I'm a potty mouth.
Those are not late night streams. Those are like the 4 in the morning streams though. So it's
Oh
okay.
yeah,
Those are
yeah.
fun. Those are good.
What? Yeah, and I stopped this cussing because I think I told Ed and I think RC that like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
my friend, my best friend's daughter watches my stream, and she's
Okay.
she's little, and she told me right now, she's like, you get 1 million subscribers, because I hung out with them yesterday, and I was like, hell yeah, 300. But you know
Hey, that's what I do with Omri. She's
Yeah.
like, hell yeah, dad. I got a little badass kid, man.
Hey, that's
she's
awesome.
she's adorable. She's adorable. Joseph's ugly, and she's so pretty and cute, and she makes me laugh, and then she's very distracting. So like whenever me and Joseph are playing, she's like pulling on my shirt, and like I can't. Man, no wonder I'm losing.
Hey, whatever it takes to win.
How many times before you get the one shirt? I cute like you like
Hey,
it.
come on, let's go to Evo together.
Pulling up.
Don't accidentally trip on his controller.
It's definitely pretty funny, but no, she's adorable. But the way like it's like people like, oh, you know, esports isn't a sport. It's not. That's what everyone says, and I see the logic because you're not doing anything physical, but it is draining to travel for like 5 hours, get there, set your shit up, so warm up, and then you're there for about 4 or 5 hours, and then you got to drive back sometimes. It's a lot, and I mean Ed's seen it. Ed's seen me do
Yeah,
it.
I was about to say, don't cut you off or anything. That's why I was
No.
waiting. But yeah, so Joseph and Steve, actually, shit, it was like right after COVID started. We went to Fuzzy's in Houston.
Yeah, it was before COVID.
That was when I first met Joseph. But yeah, it was a fun time. Don't get me wrong, it was cool. I didn't compete, but I watched everything, and I just drank with them and bullshitted with them. But like, just seeing the fact, like, we drove
3 hours. Yeah, it was a lot.
from Corpus, so it was like 4 hours all the way to fucking Houston. Played for about 4 or 5 hours there. Met some cool people and everything, but then had to drive 4 hours back at night. Like, it can be some draining stuff. Seeing it firsthand, it's crazy.
It was.
Was on the way there.
Oh yeah.
I was on the way back.
It was funny because when I dropped Joseph off, it was like 1:45. When I dropped Ed off, it was 3 because it was the time. It was the day of the.
That's right.
It was daylight save.
change?
Yeah,
The
so
time change.
it was 3 in the morning when I got home, and I was
forgot
like,
about that.
we like left like at 9:10 in the morning and got there, and so you know, and you go and play, and I'll tell you this. Fuck you, Joseph. I should never have bought your fucking ass. So
That's the one we were talking about. By the way. Chat, by the way, this is the one we were talking about a couple videos before when he was talking about not taking Joseph. This is what we're talking about.
so I lost twice to him, one in losers and one in grand finals. So he beat me my second match, and this is something that it's hard to like when you bring like a group of people, like a carpool. That's what they call them, a carpool of people, because they call them team kills. Like if you have like your friend or a team kills when you like kill one of your friends off. So I play him in the second round. He sends me to losers, and I'm like fighting for my life in losers. And he just has to win like 3 games, and he's in grand final. I think I had to win 5, or 4 or 5, and it was close. And then we ended up going to go. Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah. There's this thing, and I don't know if you got it, Joseph. Is like when you this is it. I gotta buckle down. I gotta play, and like every move is calculated, and you're like in a different mindset. Like it doesn't matter what's going on. You're not even aware of anything. It was funny because it was at a Fuzzy's Tacos.
Yeah. I was speaking with
In
Joseph,
Houston.
so you were fighting for your life.
I think we had like what I think you got me one and I got you one.
Yeah.
Just
So
fucking drinking the goblets of beer.
I lost him twice, and it feels good because there was no one there that I thought could beat me except Joseph, and I brought him, which was a big mistake. But it was definitely a fun time, and I love to lose to like, the homies. It just sucks because well, 1, there's money on the line. 2, 2, we traveled, and then 3, like someone's gonna be upset. Like it's not mad. I wasn't mad, but like there's gonna be an upset there. And I wasn't even that good back then. So Joseph literally, he round brown me a couple matches. He ended up beating me out. Like there was I didn't even stand a chance. Now we go to locals and I just mop him. It's so embarrassing for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone's just laughing at him behind his back.
Yeah, he's like, piece of shit. He sucks now.
No.
That is the only problem about going with your friends to tournaments, because when you play them they know, and of course you do too, but they know what works against you. They know counter picks and everything against you.
Yeah.
So
And
that's like kind of the
If
downside.
you train with those people and you try to play against those people,
You end up getting used to it.
Yeah.
it's very weird because like people will know that you play with them because like you'll do something a little odd and the guy will pick up on that.
just scoop it right away.
Yeah, they know it. But like when I was training, like I don't know how you train, Joseph, but like the way I train is you pick like if there's a character you have trouble with, and it was Bob for me. Bob was one of the characters I had the most trouble with, and
I've seen that.
yeah, my best friend Alex plays Bob, so we literally would play almost 100 games straight. And it would be really weird. It'd be like he'd won like 10 straight, and then I'd win like 9, and then we'd go back and forth 1-1. Then he'd win 20, and then I'd win like 30. Like it would go back and forth like a pendulum.
Jesus.
But I never I still lose that character now, but I know what to do on all the situations. I only lose because I guess wrong.
I got you.
But
Like,
yeah,
and plus, regardless of how good you like really train against a specific character, like it's it gets to a point where it's like you know you do things that beat that potential option, but you end up sometimes you just lose. You know, no matter
Yeah, you
how-
leave a gap or you misunderestimate. Yeah, I mean, shit, I
Everybody
can
plays
imagine.
different.
like there's stuff when me and Steve play, like there's habits that I do that puts me in the position to pretty much for me to play his game, like, and you know that's something that you gotta like, regardless if you're playing against a homie or if you're playing professionally or you know just at a competitive level, like you gotta like train yourself, man. You gotta it's hard. Those are the certain things that adjusting to your mistakes is probably the hardest thing to do on Tekken. It really is. Like, I mean, you can break the habit, you know, but sometimes like old habits, they really do die hard.
Yeah.
Like for me, like with Harang, I'm always hitting back one on certain situations if I know I'm losing.
back
know,
one is
neutral.
14 frames punished, by the way.
Yeah, and it's punishable.
Yeah, it's super
Punish.
punishable, but I never punish it. But all right, so now let's get into kind of more of the competitive side now. Even though we've been talking about it, what's the worst tournament you went to? And I think I know which one it is, but I want to hear you say it, and I'll give the one I went to that was pretty bad.
Shit, man, it was this one in Houston. I forgot what it was called.
Don't call him out. Don't call him out. We're not trying to put anyone on blast, but you can describe the tournament.
I don't know what it was about the tournament, man. I mean, there was food, there was fucking alcohol. Like, I mean, it was pretty lit. It was pretty lit, but
You're not too lit.
nah.
Alex did.
I took one drink. I think Steve bought me one.
Yeah, Alex fucking got lit. Yeah, he got lit.
But anyway, we were at this tournament. They had TVs. They just didn't have gaming monitors. So compared to TVs and gaming monitors itself, there's going to be input delay, and it's
Yeah.
not going to be as responsive because there's a delay.
Yeah.
So we played, and the guy that ran the tournament, like, he was kind of cool. He was telling,
He's a good. Yeah, don't call his name. He's a good paw player.
yeah, he's a good ball player, and he ended up telling me like something about one of these teammates that I sponsored a while back, and you know he was just telling me some shit about them, and I was like, oh, that's cool, man, awesome. Like, I mean, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know. Who
Yeah.
Anyway, he ran the tournament. Like he was kind of winning, and you know, I don't know. Just playing at that tournament, it felt like a fucking joke, man. Because there was a $500 pot bonus, I believe.
Not a pot
And
bonus.
then-
First
not a
place.
pot
Yeah,
bonus.
first place only.
First place only wins that pot. So there was like 30 people there, and they paid like what, 20 or
No, we
25 bucks a pop.
we paid 30. Yeah, we each had to pay 30. Yeah.
Yeah, I paid 30, and there was a lot of money. So I don't know how the operation worked or whatever. Whether they paid the people to pay and do the alcohol and all that other shit to have out there for people
Yeah.
while they're playing. That was
The money didn't add up. Yeah.
it was just kind of weird, because it was mainly like a profit for them, like, which is, I guess, ideally what tournaments do, I guess, to a certain
Yeah.
degree.
It's a business. It's still a business. I get it.
And like we figured that this would have been like a friendly one, something that would have been like a good tournament. That's not going to be like it just seemed like a joke. It really did. Like if you were a constant tournament player like how me and Steve were back in the day, like this place did not feel tournament worthy. Like that was just to me, like I don't know, we sort of said it was kind of embarrassing, but I mean we still had fun, we still played, we met some people from San Antonio and stuff like that that we knew and stuff like that. Like it was great, but just the tournament aspect was just no good.
Yeah.
But it makes it worse because y'all traveled for that shit too, and just to have a feeling like that at a place that you for 3.5, 4 hours to go to, and it's like this is a joke. That's pretty shitty, man. I'm sorry.
Like if they had gaming monitors, like even if they just had 4 fucking TVs and I guess some of the regular TVs and the projection that they had out there, like if you at least had 2 to 4 professional like competitive monitors or whatever, gaming monitors that actually respond to our shit,
Yeah.
you know, instead of having the delay where you don't feel at your best. Because there was people there that didn't know how to play Tekken, and then some of them would like either talk to me or maybe Steve or maybe Alex saying you're holding back. You know, it's just like no, it's I can't play on this fucking TV, bro.
Yeah. We're not sandbagging. We're delayed. Like you're
Yeah,
You
lagging.
have to think about your group
We're
now.
handicapped right now. We can't.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
a handicap.
So a lot of players, a lot of the players because a lot of players like that are like new to the scene, they play on TVs, and they're kind of already used to that. And I'm kind of used to, I mean, it didn't hurt me too much. I still lost. I lost to a pretty good player, but like that tournament was not, I won't say awful because I had fun. Like we talk about traveling as like as a burden. It's kind of cool to travel with your homies. We go to
You can see some
hotels.
cool shit.
Yeah, we go to hotels, we get drunk, we order pizza, and like sometimes like we'll like let people come into the hotels and play games with us. Like it's pretty cool. But like this tournament, it just was, there was so much wrong with it that like people didn't realize. So the guy that ran it, he's okay. And I've met him multiple times. He's ran pretty good locals. This one particular was his own, like his own, and I'm sure the vendors there, the ones that sold the alcohol, they probably had to pay him to do that. I don't think he like said. I don't think he like because then he could just sell the alcohol, or he can get like a friend that has a TABC license to sell the alcohol. So like this group was in Houston. Now the food truck might have to pay. I highly doubt it. I think a food truck would love to just sit at any spot that has a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, you
So-
just call them and ask. That's
Yeah.
it. You don't have to pay
So-
a fee or anything.
Yeah. So Steve, was this also your worst one or no?
No, this is not my worst one. It's up there though. It's up there. Also, the $500 first place only. So it's sad to say, you think like, oh, first place, I'll win and get the 500, but a lot of times you're going in there and there's always like at least one person that's better than you, if not better than you, close to how good you are. You should never go in there thinking I'm gonna get first place. And if I would have known that it was first place only, I would not have traveled for it. I would have gone to another one. I would have gone to one in San Antonio or Austin. And I've been to San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, and Houston. And
Those are great.
and McAllen.
Do the tournaments normally have like first and second place winners, like first, second, third?
First, second, third.
Well,
First, second, and third. Okay.
it depends on how many people show up. If like 100,
Tournament is-
yeah, like 100. If 100 people
okay.
show up, then
So-
it's top 8 gets paid out.
The one
Oh,
I
no
went
shit.
to. Yeah, the one I went to with them was first, second, third.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
all I know.
it was funny
I
because
remember that.
I got second, Joseph got first,
Yeah.
and the other guy got third. The Jack player, he got third, and they just gave him a gift card.
If I'm right,
Yeah.
isn't there a picture on your Facebook?
Oh yeah, on my Instagram. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, so yeah, if you go to
Um,
Steve's Instagram,
yeah,
you'll see the picture of it.
I had pretty good stats for a while.
It was a cool time.
Yeah, I had pretty good stats for a while when I started traveling. I did have a lot of good stats. I got a lot of
Me
second
too,
and
man.
first.
Oh my god.
It's-
kind of like the Tekken World Tour stats, and then the dojo.
Oh, the dojos, yeah. I didn't have any good stats then. I think that if our local blew up again, I think me and you and I are like probably top fighters in Corpus, hands down. Like
Yeah,
I don't.
my last professional tournament, it was kind of like online. It wasn't the ICFC or nothing like that, but it was like a dream hack one. I got like 7th place. I was like L Train was right above me, and then I was like right under him. So like, cause they had like, I don't know how they did the scoring, cause like you'd have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 7.
Yeah. So 5th place gets tied with 5th place. 7th gets tied with 7th, and then 9th and 9th, and then after that, it's 4 people get tied for 13th.
Yeah.
And then it goes off that. But yeah, I played in that DreamHack. I think I got 13th. But yeah, and it feels good to play. I play online tournaments all the time. I don't stream them anymore because when I'm streaming, I play like ass. But I will record them. But yeah, last ICFC I did terrible like always. I always end up playing a pro. I always run into a pro. Like I always either run into the person that gets like top 8 or the person that gets like first or second. I never play like other randoms.
Yeah, you never get lucky and get someone who's like 13th.
Because a lot of times people think like, and I admit it myself, like when you go to tournaments, sometimes you get a lucky bracket. Sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah,
you do.
sometimes you get to play like you get a bye. Then the person you're supposed to play, like the person he was supposed to play got disqualified, so he goes right to you. You already got a bye. He doesn't know. He's not good. He's just walked in. You beat him. Then you go to the next round, and like you have no pro players on your side. You have no like the first and second place are on the other side, and you just get lucky. I've gotten lucky a couple times, and there's one tournament I didn't get lucky, and I still did pretty good. But yeah, it just sometimes you just get you get lucky. Sometimes you don't. And that's something a lot of people will brag about, like, oh, I got second or third, but you look at their bracket and you're like, hey, there's no heavy hitters. Yeah, there's no heavy hitters in there, and I'm not taking away anyone's wins, but that's just the way it works.
Yeah, that's when you pull onto you used to look at the listing and it's pro, me, pro.
Sometimes it comes like there's tournaments I did pretty good in, and I always think like, damn, where the fuck is that guy at? Yeah. Oh, so to answer your question, Ed, that's not the worst tournament.
I was just asking because you were adding on, so I was like, damn, was it that bad?
Yeah, was it that one?
Or do you have one that was worse than that?
I won't.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so this guy was the guy that ran that tournament in Houston. He was probably about money and wherever the case may. But he wasn't rude. He wasn't he wasn't rude or being disrespectful or nothing like that. He did walk in front of somebody's gameplay, and I thought that was super. I thought that was like super shitty because he's the one that put the TVs up. There was one TV you had, yeah. He walked right in front of it. I was like, hey, dude. And he goes, what? I was like, you're walking in front of their game. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you can tell, like, if there's money on the line and you walk in front of it.
You should know, though.
Yeah, like, you set this place
and
up.
He was the fucking TO. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was, yeah.
Why would you walk in front of somebody playing a match?
Yeah, that tournament organizers, TO guys, for the ones that don't know it.
I figured.
But the one I went to South PAX. I'm just gonna call them out because it's such a big organization.
Hey,
Yeah,
It was PAX.
it was South PAX. So I thought it was
place, baby.
I second place, baby. I thought it was a legitimate tournament. Like I thought it was like there's gonna be a bunch of pro gamers there. I'm gonna get to meet like all the best players and like in Texas.
Hacks, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Yeah, 'cause you told me about that. You were excited for it.
yeah, I wanted the best, and I went.
You asked me to go, but I had to work.
Yeah, I asked a lot of people to go. Nobody. I ended up going with some of the homies.
I had to work. I remember that.
So-
I wanted to go with you.
So yeah, he didn't get asked. What are you gonna do there? No,
fucking packs.
yeah, no,
I mean, come
PAX,
on, dude.
PAX. The whole thing was awesome. I had a fun time. It was a good time.
Fucking cosplay.
Yeah,
Like, let's go.
yeah. Same. I should have cosplayed. One of my friends a cosplayer, and he went, and it was kind of cool. Anyways, so this is why this tournament to me was bad. It wasn't like you sign up online like a normal tournament. Whoever showed up, the first 32 players that signed up got to play.
Oh shit.
So already not a competitive scene, not competitive at all, which is kind of lame.
Top 32 though.
Yeah, but yeah, 32 players is a lot. It's a pretty big tournament, like relatively speaking, not a major, but. So I sign up and I play.
Convention, right?
Yeah, and it's not a major. Like there's not like a major is normally like around like 128 to like 252. That's a major. I mean, I think Evo's like 1,000. Yeah, but when I signed up and they were setting up the tournament, and I was like there's like tournaments behind us, but it was just like free play. And I couldn't find a Tekken one out there, and I went up to the lady and I was like, "Hey, you mind if I jump on that Tekken one right there and just kind of warm up?" And she was like, "No, you can't." Like she basically barked at me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry." And I didn't even walk away, and she goes, "Oh my God, what is it with these tournament players?" And I was like, "I didn't even walk away, and you already said that."
That's shitty.
So that happened. She was just kind of rude about it. So I go and play, and everyone is so fucking mean at this tournament, which is not really always the case. like unless you know the people, they're just shit talking is not like whispers. It's mostly like cheering on, and it's like it's that fun, like funny competitive, like you're trash. It's fun.
It's the banter.
Yeah.
The fun shit talking.
Yeah, but these guys were just whispering at each other like, fuck this Eddie player. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's a fucking, what a fucking idiot. Like, just like really run. Because I had friends in the crowd and they were listening to it. And everyone was like, he's just pressing buttons. And that's what everyone says about Eddie. But I wasn't. So, like, they just kept talking shit and like, just like being like assholes. And normally it's fine, but I could hear them. And I can like, and then people were telling me what they're saying, and like, there's like so much like it was just like a toxic environment. So
Yeah.
I ended up playing out, and then I kept winning, and so at the very end, like I'm in top 8 already, and I'm playing, and I have to report my score every time. So I'll report my score, and I'm in top 8, and I win. I report my score, and I go back and play again right after that, and I win again. I go, hey, I won, and the guy was like, okay, and you are. And I was like, I really want to be like, I'm the one that's winning, motherfucker. But I was like, dude, I literally just, and I understand, but the way he made it seem is like, I know he knew who I was because I just reported it to him, but I think he was just being an asshole about it. So we play the tournament. I ended up losing to a Boar. He's an amazing player. He was the only one there that gave me a challenge. He destroyed me. He was really good.
Yeah, I think he played Anna.
He played Lily. Or whenever he beat me, yeah, he plays Zafina now and it bodies me tournament still, but so
I have him as a friend on Steam.
He's good, yeah, he's good. So that happened. There was no money, which I should have, I guess, expected because it was free, but I got a medal, a little cute ass medal, and but like thing is like tournaments can be bad, but when you're like when the TOs are rude and like disrespectful to the players, it makes me not want to play for your organization. So I'm very picky on who because sometimes some weekends there's tournaments in Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and then we have our local. Like I have the picking, and if South Pax is on the list, I'm not going to that tournament. I'm sure they don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. I'm pulling up. They don't give a fuck about me.
Because they hold bigger tournaments than Tekken. The money tournaments isn't Tekken.
Oh
They have
yeah.
a COD tournament and they have a
I think a
League
Fortnite.
tournament.
They have a Fortnite
And a
tournament.
Fortnite, and all three of those are money based.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
So to think that they do these
Hey.
other ones and they're just on the side, like that's why they don't care, and that sucks. It shouldn't
But-
be that way.
That's what I'll say. Like the way it's organized and ranked can really determine whether or not people go to it.
It
And
just
with
has to be a
fact-
good tournament, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but with
Yeah.
PAX being such a big thing, regardless of it being smaller because it's not Fortnite or COD or anything, you still think they would have, a better running and a better attitude because that's what it is. It's for gaming.
Yeah, it's gaming based. Yeah,
You're
versus
lucky we're coming
DreamHack.
over here.
Like you're
Like-
having people travel. It's like, why are you gonna be a dick? Like,
Yeah.
Why are you gonna have these people be dicks? You're supposed to want to support it. That's what it fucking is.
And I'm gonna
That's
go
what
to.
they say in here.
I'm gonna say it like being a TO is not something
Don't you
that's
broke your elbow.
yeah. being a being a TO is really hard. It's not easy. It's very
'Cause
stressful.
Everybody's got to talk to you while you're organizing.
Yeah.
And then as well, sometimes the TOs fucking compete too.
Yeah, and so but the thing is, this TO was probably stressed about the whole event. But I'll tell you this: last tournament I went to, big one, was set count, and I signed up for Smash. The fucking internet went out, so everything's organized on like a laptop with the players' names and stuff. The guy that ran the Smash tournament, he had about 120 people. He literally said, "Come up here and write your name down." And he made a bracket. He made like 4 different brackets, and he put 32 players in each. He ran it that way, and you could tell he was sweating, and he never once like was disrespectful, rude. He was a boss. And after that tournament, I literally had so much respect for him. So I know it's stressful to be a TO, but don't take your shit out on me, like especially like it's something that like. I'm very clueless about things. I'm like, oh, I won. Like, I just turn on and say that. But I know I should have been like, hey, I won 2-1, True Alpha Steve. But I just was like, hey, I won because I just reported him. But, like, they were just rude. The crowd was rude. Like, the people that signed up were rude. And it's just something like, that's not how the tournament should run. The tournament should be like people are playing, everyone's laughing, everyone's giving tips and tricks and like things they can do, giving advice, getting numbers, getting Discord, getting Twitches. That's whenever my Twitch, when my Twitch started making good numbers, it wasn't because I was like doing all the things people do, like, oh, turn off your viewer count and like stupid shit like that. It was because I was going to tournaments and making a name for myself. I was doing it the hard way, and I got pretty good viewership because of that. People wanted to watch me play.
That's awesome.
Haters wanted to watch me like how to beat me, and friends wanted to support me, and that's as simple as it was. But if you have a tournament where everyone's rude, I don't want to be around these guys, these dork nerds. But
buttholes.
I was.
And it's go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was, and it's a lot of pressure. Yeah.
It's surprising to me because I remember you telling me about one that you went to where like a whole fucking brawl broke out. Like they started beating the shit out of each other over a match. And I'm surprised, like that's the one you picked because of the organization standpoint and how everything was for you versus like just overall bad of the actual competition.
Let's go to see a fight.
No, that wasn't Tekken. That was I wasn't there for that one.
Or was that the Smash one you were talking
That
about?
was the Smash one, and it was at.
Okay, I'm mistaken then. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, and it was a brawl, and I forgot what happened, but I do remember it was at a big tournament, and they were fighting, and like, you just can't fight. It wasn't Tekken though. I think it was Smash.
Okay.
And
If you do anything, I think if you like fight or do some like crazy shit or rage or anything, I think you're like just like not banned, but it's like a temporary ban. I think it's like So it could be 3 months, 6 months, or a year. Like,
well,
shit like that too.
Steve has talked about that. I don't know if he talked about it on the podcast, but he's told us about stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought it was the Tekken one. That's the only reason I brought it up. I thought I was like, damn, to think that's that actually happened.
Well, I mean, there's like videos of like some of the biggest assault for Tekken, and one of them is when a player grabbed another player's controller and smashed it, like their controller, for like grand finals.
Oh, that was fucking Run It Black and
Tim,
something Tim.
Yeah, Tekken Tim maybe.
Yeah, Tekken Tim, because they had a like
a rivalry.
I don't know how serious the beef was.
But it
Like
was
a
out of the
rivalry,
game.
though.
They had
it was
their
like,
own.
it was the thing between them. That they had.
And
It was back and
personal.
forth.
yeah, no, well, one of the big ones, it was Buffalo in Mortal Kombat. Buffalo and who's Cuddlecore's husband or boyfriend? Scar, I think his name's Scar. Buffalo beats Scar, right? And he got up, and Buffalo is like 6'5". He's tall, huge. He beats him up and starts flicking him off, and he's like in his face, yelling at him, like right in his face, yelling at him, and they're just flicking each other off. And it was a Twitter beef. It was because Scar said if you went first to 2, I'd win, but and then they went first to 3, or if it was first to 2, you won. That's the only reason. If it was first to 3, I would have won, and they went first to 3, and he won. So like that's just crazy, and I it gets insane whenever you're in the scene because sometimes you just see shit happen. Controllers get thrown, chairs get thrown, people get in each other's faces. At our local, the Smash community, not the new local, the old local, the Smash community had a whole. They were gonna get everything paid for.
Oh my god, I remember this.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were gonna get everything: tournaments, travel, lodging. Probably jerseys, but
A lot of shit.
the sponsors found out that these 12-year-olds, because there are a lot of 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, were bullying each other on Facebook, like cyberbullying, and they pulled it from them. They said, "Oh hell no!" And we're talking like $30,000. It was a lot of money. And they said, like, the guy that had the local came out and said, "I just want to say, if you guys are bullying each other online, like, that's unacceptable. And also, you guys just lost $30,000 from a huge sponsorship because you want to make fun of each other online. So y'all need to quit it," and blah, blah, blah. By the way, the guy that said that is no saint either. Yeah, he's not. I won't call him out, but, like, that local, there's a lot of, like, allegations that came out against him. And that's one of the reasons, like, we really stopped going there. Just because a lot of allegations came out on him. Which was kind of weird because it came out the same time that like Smash community base got canceled because there were so many people that like were basically like underage drinking, sexual assault. I'll get y'all's opinion. And I know we don't like to be political, but like one of the players was a 14-year-old boy, and a girl player was like 21, and she's literally like grooming him and he groomed him, and like the allegations came out against her. Her life did not change too much. Yeah. For even though it came out that she was grooming him, there's video proof of it. Her life didn't change, but the other guy gamers, their lives are ruined.
Yeah,
a lot of them can't. Yeah,
and there's a lot of extent when it comes to those. There's a lot of variables that come into play because the term grooming is very loose. If there was no, unfortunately, in a legal standpoint, like if there's no actual sexual side of it, if it's talking and words and communication, maybe even money spent, you can't do a lot. If there's legitimate sexual assault, that's where the entire grounds change. There still is problems because, of course, it's a minor and you're doing things that are just wrong. You know, whether it's coaxing them into certain situations or leading them down a path they probably wouldn't have gone for if it wasn't you in the picture. But if there's no legitimate sexual assault taking place, unfortunately, there is not a lot that can be done. And that's sad to say because there should be more penalization for those situations because that's how those situations wind up happening.
Mm-hmm. You know, but I mean, I see, like when it comes to like Smash and stuff like that, like I really think there should be a different like league with ages and stuff like that. Because I think it makes more sense that way. Because like if you got kids that are like let's say between 8 and fucking 13, maybe 15 at the most, you know, well no, say like 10 and 15, you know, them competing against each other, you know, that gives them a good jump start into getting into the scene, whether, you know, if it's this game or Smash, whatever, you know, is popular amongst that specific age group. And then there should be an adult league. You know what I'm saying? Because like any other competition that's been around, there is a age limit
bracketing. Yeah.
For, you know, and I really think they should do that with video games, man. Like just to, you know, make sure the community's safe, protect the community, you know, because we're all here to play games and make fucking friends, you know. So I just don't see why they don't do it like that, you know. But yeah, I mean, I understand all the money together to do this and do that. Cool, great, you know. But I'd rather personally just keep it safe, you know, because in some cases, you know, there probably should be some sort of like a background check on some people, you know, depending on how far this goes in the FGC, you know, like when is it enough? You know, when is it going to get to a point to make sure everybody else is safe?
Well, it should definitely be broken up. Definitely.
Yeah.
21 and up, like maybe like 18 to 20, 21 and up, 17 to like maybe 15. You know, keep it grade level, like
yeah, pretty much
elementary, middle school, high school kind of bracketing, and then 18 and up, and then 21 and up, and keep that separated so that you don't have those styles of altercations.
Well, a lot of the altercations happen not even at the tournament.
Not
I mean that too, but I'm saying like a lot of times when you travel, you'll bunk with somebody, and it's very free. Like sometimes people will put on Twitter like, "Hey, my guy I'm staying with in Evo said can't go. Have a free room if you want to split it because it's a good way to save money." So when you have these like young adults that are kids going to these tournaments and staying in hotels, and they don't really have a proper chaperone, because like I mean, my parents definitely wouldn't do it, and most parents probably won't travel out of state for you to watch you play Smash. So a lot of times you stay with like someone that, you know, the parents think like are like responsible adults, but these aren't responsible adults, and they're not like because what do we do at tournaments? We drink. We have fun. We eat pizza. I always say that. We drink. We get loaded. Like we're just like getting drunk.
We're adults. We do adult things.
So when you invite kids on that journey, they're getting put into
a situation.
Yeah, hostile. It's very like it's like it's so situational that like they're put. And a lot of times, players like after the tournament, like or after like if it's a weekend tournament, after like the event's closed. What do? We go eat, and then we go back to the hotels and play. We go to like hotel rooms, and we're playing with other players. Same thing with these young adults. They go into these hotel rooms with a bunch of like adults that are drinking, and you know alcohol's around, and there's always that one dude or girl that's like, "Here, try this. I'm gonna get you drunk." You know, it's And it definitely needed to be. There needs to be a proper chaperone that goes with them and monitors it.
Yeah.
So, but that's definitely one of it. All right. Well, I guess we got a little off topic, but we covered a lot of stuff. I will say, Joseph, what was like? What's the biggest rage? And I know we've already talked about ours, but like, what's the biggest rage you've ever had to deal with in a tournament?
The biggest rage?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. At locals, okay. So whenever I started at locals, I don't know if you remember him. His name
Don't say Nate. God damn it.
Oh.
Too late. I'm not gonna bleep it.
Well, he was basically a TO as well when I first started. Like, he was helping Ezra, like another teammate of No Way. You know, like, fuck, man. I just know that we're playing a game. He fucking throws his controller on the ground, and it almost hit another kid. It's just, like, that was the only rage that I've ever experienced. Like, but, I mean, it was a mistake, he's still a good guy, but he was hot. He was a hothead, man.
A moment of anger and shit happens, but it's like, damn, if it would have been worse, right? I get it.
Yeah, like, it could have been a lot more worse, man. Like, I don't know. Everyone just turned around, got quiet, and just looked at him like, what the fuck, bro? Like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I wasn't there for that one, but I remember when I first came into the scene, everyone would have that running joke like, "Oh, don't be a Nate, don't throw your controller."
Yeah, don't be Nate, don't be Nate.
Yeah, and but it's insane to watch people rage, and I haven't really experienced it too many times. I've been around it, but I haven't been personally involved in it. But like, there's a lot of like weird tactics people do, like the shaking in the chairs. That's always a weird one for me. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know about you, Joseph. There's this thing I call reaching. It's where they reach in front of you, like after the match or after the round. And I don't know what it does to me, but it triggers something in my brain. I'm like, the fuck, was that a power move? Might just be me. But like where they reach right in front of you, or like or they'll have like their vapes plugged to the PS4 or something, and they'll reach over you and like smoke it right in front of you, like block the monitor, or the monitor pulling whenever they pull the monitor.
Distraction tactic,
dude. Whatever it is, like little things like that it doesn't get on my skin, but like it makes me think about like, is this a power move?
You got your side, homeboy, and I got mine. Like,
there's a line right here. Get away from me!
Don't fucking cross it.
Yeah. One of the biggest controversy, I don't know if you ever see this, is that the smell.
Dude, that's the most common thing that is. It's a thing that's very common at FGCs, man. I remember one time Ezra at one of our monthlies, man, he was walking by, hitting people with that axe spray. Like, hey,
yeah. There's a stigma that like FGC like they smell.
We don't want to be rude, but it's like, come on, dude. Like,
it's. I always bring deodorant with me now, but like. But it's like we're all crammed into like a little room in the corner, and we're all playing like really close to each other, and and we're sweating, so it's definitely a big stigma.
You're gonna probably be that guy too, going like this, trying to make sure your shit fresh.
Are you like checking and shit all the time?
Yeah. I think Steve caught me one time at the Houston one because I smelled BO, and I was like, man, that shit better not be me. I'm sweating too, so I'm just trying to be casual. I'm like, all right, cool. It ain't me.
No, I have to reapply multiple times. So a PSA to everyone out there. Is it PSA? What is
public service announcement.
Public service announcement. Whenever you go to a tournament, make sure to bring your controller, your headphones, whatever you need to survive, but also include your deodorant. Make sure to include your
axe spray, something to kind of help.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely bring deodorant and make sure you're showering and stuff like that. There was when I was part of like one of the Facebook groups for Smash, and somebody was leaving it. Like the scene was like, here with this whole thing about how they smell, and how they're never coming back because it smells like ass. And I was like, damn, chill out. He ended up getting like banned from the group. But yeah, that was something.
You need to go, bro. Take a shower. Put some deodorant on.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Hate to say it to you like that, but it's like.
Well, like we're like most of us are adults playing, and like we should know how to use deodorant. But if you're like a middle school or high schooler, that's about the time you should be introduced into deodorant and things like that. And, so that's something that I always think.
And it's more acceptable to look at a kid and think, okay, shit. Like, I'm a grown ass man. Like, I'm not gonna look at you and be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, come on. Like, we shouldn't have this conversation.
Yeah. You smell it. I smell it. You know where this is going.
Yeah.
Get
So-
to busting it.
We actually, Joseph and I have been through a lot. We actually, whenever, like, our first, like, tournament we went to, we went with one of our, at that time, our friends. Well, our friend. And Alex was in there. I won't say his name, but, like, maybe a month later, like, 17 girls came out with allegations against this guy for, like, grooming, getting drugs, sexual assault. Like, 17 girls came out on him.
Oh, dude, that
And-
shit was fucking crazy. That was crazy. Man.
And you were sharing a hotel room with him, and we didn't even know about this guy like that. Like, it was like one girl, and then like everyone started adding on to it. And I remember like thinking like, dude,
This
we
was
were
whenever Crawdaddy's we didn't go to Crawdaddy's anymore. This was also during that.
yeah. And he went with us, and one of the things that like our Alex pointed out, our other Tekken friend, he said, dude, did you notice that like he got us drunk like really fast? He was saying that before we even knew about these allegations, and I was like, dude, we got drunk way too fast, and like, and I ended up blacking out and waking up in the morning.
Fuck my guy.
Yeah, I was puking and then puking when I woke up, man, because we went to go get some free breakfast. And
Yeah,
after that, it was just, man, we were fucking
Y'all got
hammered.
tossed. Yeah.
yeah.
I think we had a Di Serono bottle. We had
Oh, that was
fucking
good.
The vodka, right?
And then he made us take a shot of Everclear. You remember that?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, that shit
This
burned.
motherfucker.
So like whenever it came out, Alex was like, dude, he got us so fucked up so fast. Do you think like he's just like does that to girls too? And apparently he does.
Apparently, right?
Yeah, and again, I'm not, but this is something that happened to Joseph and I, and like it was crazy that we weren't part of that. We had no idea that he was doing that.
It was like a
yeah.
dark thing to like not really
Find
notice.
Yeah.
And I always think about that because like I definitely we all cut off connections from him completely.
We didn't want anyone to think we were like associated because I don't want no girl to think I'm like that too just because I hang around with a person like that.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Whatever the allegation may be, but we cut ties and it was just like, dude, nobody fucking knew. Like,
Yeah, no one knew. And
it was just a shock too, man.
yeah, and that was like right around the Me Too movement that was just blowing up, and people were just coming out with a bunch of allegations.
shit.
It was
Yeah,
it
so
was
much.
it was a lot, and like when the first girl said it, I was like, oh, one girl, and then 16 more to follow, and I was like, god damn.
And then it started, and then it got to a point where it was even happening he was doing it at his job, and like,
Yeah, so this was something he did like it's his own shit. Yeah, it
yeah,
wasn't.
it was pretty dark. It was like not. Well, I would say it's like it was a dark time, man. It was somebody we thought that was our friend, and it was just crazy to think that's the kind of history that they had.
Yeah.
Now the good news is that he didn't do it around us because there was really no girls at the tournaments we went to, so
Yeah.
there was no girls there. So it was good that he didn't. There was no one to take advantage of. There was like if there was a girl there, they either were there with her boyfriend, and I'm not saying that like there were just no girls at our local that played Tekken. Now I have gone to locals where there's Tekken girls, the Tekken players that are girls and phenomenal players, but yeah, he did. There was none in our local. Thank God that he could take advantage of, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, that was another big controversy that we were kind of not part of, but we were like around in our local. Like our local was
just oblivious, man.
yeah, I just like didn't know this. We thought he was a cool guy. We're all hanging out. I was like, dude, this guy's so cool. He was in a band.
Yeah, we went everywhere together almost. Like,
With that being said, me and Joseph had some crazy times, and we definitely are still planning on doing big things in the future. And this year I didn't travel as much because COVID, because money, all of the above. I didn't travel, and I think next year will be the year and I think that's because Tekken 8's coming out soon. So, but I'm gonna be
Tekken 8's our time to shine.
I'm gonna go kind of big on this next year. Probably right after Evo. Good.
This is what Coda told me. That's also the other owner for No Way Esports too, by the way. So he was telling me like, you know, like people like Lil Majin, Cuddlecore and stuff like that, they all played Tekken Tag 2. So their names weren't as big, like even Speed Kicks as well, stuff, so on and so on. And when they got to Tekken 7, they ended up getting big, you know, because there's, I guess there is some sort of like, you know, line of like people that were great for the game previous, you know, and then when they went to the next game, they ended up getting big. So I'm saying like, since me and Steve are potentially pretty well off at Tekken, like pretty good, you know, but now when Tekken 8 comes, that's where we put our skills to the test and you know, possibly just be like how the other guys were, you know.
So I have a quick
dude.
question, if
Go ahead.
y'all don't mind me asking.
Not at all.
I may miss this, but we had talked about you having your own esports team and everything. Are you on it, or are you just running it?
I'm on it. I compete too, as well as run it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
he was saying that you have your team and everything, but he never said like if you were a part of it or if you were going with it. So I wasn't sure.
Yeah. If you were just
Yeah,
an
yeah,
owner,
yeah.
if you were, yeah.
Oh, okay. So for most other esports teams, you know, there's a lot of owners, and obviously there's a lot of esports teams. Basically, that's the topic of it, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the owners don't normally play, like even compete to represent their own brand. If anything, it's usually the other players or whoever's sponsored, you know. But for me, as well as the other owner as well, like we both play, you know, like he competes, I compete, you know. We're always training with our teammates on occasions, unless we set it up. Yeah, we haven't done anything. Like I said, we haven't done nothing for a while, except for little things here and there. But yeah, we're one of the few owners that actually do compete.
That's sick, man.
Nice.
That's sick.
And we'll try to play every game too. Like I know I'm good at Tekken, but like you know, if we want to play Mortal Kombat, if we want to play, you know, DNF or
That's a fun one.
Grand Blue or any other games, Eunice, so on and so on, we'll play that too. Like, you know, we'll have our fundamentals, you know, still, but we won't be as good as we are as in Tekken.
Definitely,
I got
definitely.
you.
So what's the come for your esports team and yourself as well in this next year, Joseph? What's the next, like, what's the goal and aim for your organization and yourself, like personally?
Well, personally, for me is like obviously like progressively get more well known, you know, because this is probably the time to start doing it since things are coming back. So
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
the ideal goal for right now. Nothing too crazy to, you know. I'm not trying to reach for the fucking diamond or anything like that. You know, it's just kind of work with it as I go. You know, don't be greedy.
Yeah.
But for the team stuff, man, right now I'm trying to set up like learning how to do like Airbnbs, you know, depending on certain events that are going to be coming. Like, let's say another Evo event comes for 2023, you know, for all the new fighting games that come out and we all participate. Like, I'm going to try to get Airbnb setups, you know, to where we have food, you know, basically just have certain things set up, you know, because, you know, we ain't rich or nothing, but we're, you know, trying to get certain stuff like that set up. Because right now, I think we do have a sponsor for like Glitch Energy, I believe, unless they changed it. I don't remember. I haven't checked up on it, but they have little stuff here and there, but nothing crazy.
Definitely, man. I'm excited to see you prosper and stuff. And
Yeah.
and you know, I've always enjoyed your gameplay, and you've really taught me a lot. You were my first friend in the FGC, like other than Alex, but like in the actual community, you were my first friend. You're the first person to talk to me, and it's nerve-wracking when you first go to FGC. There's no one talks to you. You actually have to like go out and make friends and play with them and get to know like what they're into, bring beer, have a good time. But like Joseph was the first person that welcomed me in the FGC, and you know, I'm always forever grateful. Because he really did come out and you just, you know, talked to me, showed me stuff. He really, and he because of him, I probably wouldn't as be where I'm at right now in my competitive scene. He got me here, and now it's cool because like I wouldn't say he's like my master or my senpai,
Your
but
sensei.
I won't say that. But like there was a part of time where he would just body me consistently. And now, hopefully, I still give him a challenge, and that's something that I pride myself on, because you can measure how good you are on that scale. Like the guys that used to beat me all the time, now they're struggling, and now I'm winning, and that's something that's always nice.
For
But
Tekken, like
Go
if you potentially whether you're the type of person that's gonna get into it or you have played it or really want to play it, like it really does take 2 to 2.5 years to actually really study Tekken, get good at it, and not perfect, but like you execute your play style better. Like, cause you're gonna start off pressing buttons, then you're gonna start off blocking more, and you're gonna notice every change. But the one thing that's gonna suck really, you'll never ever get that feeling again once you reach that high level of professional, fighting game playing or whatever you do as a gamer. You'll never get that feeling again. But from the start to finish, it was a great experience.
yeah, early on you can get decent pretty quick, but to get to the level where you're competing at a higher level, it takes more time. So like 3 months you can be a mediocre player, win matches, get good ranks, all that nonsense. But if you want to be like getting first at your locals and getting top 8s in your majors and just be like that takes time. It's because to learn a player, because in Tekken every character has like 100 moves, and not everyone uses the 100 moves because some of them aren't really not used. But still,
like 20 of them.
Yeah, you use like the top 15, but still, like you still need to kind of learn them if they ever do this. Which brings me back, guys, real quick. You can definitely find us at all your podcast listening channels. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podcast Cast, Deezer, Listen Notes, Player FM, Podcast Index, and if you want to see our beautiful faces, you can catch us on the YouTube. 3 guys, 1 plate.
Are y'all kicking me out of this too?
I'm the guest.
How do you always fuck up that one every time, dude?
I'm gonna get kicked out? Yeah.
Yeah, we've been wanting to talk to you about that.
I
Yeah.
do it again.
And we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because we've been going on way long. This has been a fun podcast. I've enjoyed having Joseph here. Good friend, good homie, good Tekken player. We appreciate him coming here. Glad to have you. We'll definitely have you on another episode. Maybe something about like if you're in the FGC, how do you get puss, right? That's yeah. Like how do you when do you bring up you play Tekken on a Tinder date? Is it when you first see them, or like you gotta wait 5 minutes?
Do you just have your rank on your profile?
It's my description.
Ew, he's an emperor. He's not even Tekken God. So we definitely appreciate being on this podcast, and really that's all I have. You guys have a fantastic. You guys got anything you want to say?
Oh, thank you for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me. It was awesome.
Do you want to shout out your team socials or anything yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. It's like No Way Esports Twitter. I'll send Steve the link.
Yeah,
we'll put it in the description.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description, guys. And y'all definitely give him a follow. And definitely follow Joseph Filipino at Joseph Filipino on Twitch. He's playing a lot. He's not playing Tekken so much. He's playing a lot of other games. What are you playing right now? Like Lost Ark or Dance Dance Revolution or something?
I was playing Lost Ark for a little bit, but I took a break from that. I've been playing some single player games like Tales and then the Final Fantasy that released on Steam. And then I recently just got Beat Saber, so I'm just playing that too, just to kind of stay active.
Yeah, so definitely check him out. That's all I have, guys. Thanks, guys, for watching. You catch us next week, and I don't even know what we're talking about next week. I guess we'll figure it out like we always do. Yeah, we always figure it out, guys. Thanks, guys, for watching. You guys have a great time, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.